All right, so we're here with Justin and Megan and Katya, and we are doing a quick series on what leaders that are not traditionally doing online school need to know. And we have two experts from the state, one from UEN and one from Utah Virtual Academy. Do you two want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in real quick. I'm Meghan Merideth, head of school at Utah Virtual Academy. Our charter has been around for about 12 years, and it's about my 8th year here, and just excited to be here. So thanks for hosting us, Bryan.
Absolutely.
Hi, and I'm Justin Brooksby with Utah Education Network, and we have a team that trains teachers on how to use technology in their classrooms. So we've been doing online and blended learning for a long time, and I guess this is our time to shine.
Absolutely. So really, I just want to open this up for a prompt of what you two feel that leaders really need to know as we move forward with this concept of blended learning, where students are at home. A lot of schools have talked about they've been handing out Chromebooks to kids so that they can access online materials. A lot of schools are using Canvas, and some schools are sending home packets. So what are your thoughts? What are your suggestions for teachers, or sorry, for principals, or even for parents as we embark on this journey?
Justin, I'll let you take it first.
Okay, I'll start off. Well, the first thing is that this is all new to a lot of us, and we just need to give, principals need to give themselves time to breathe, teachers need to give their time to breathe, students, and especially parents at home. This is all brand new. So it seems like everyone wants us to just snap our fingers and have all this ready to go, but that's not gonna be the case. We're all gonna be learning this together. Usually when we teach teachers, this is a 1 to 2 year process to have them learn some of these tools, but we're asking teachers to do this in just a few days. So that's what I think is the most important thing. Second, I think that we're lucky here in Utah because we have a lot of available resources already. Like mentioned was the Canvas learning management system. That's great. We have a K-12 state license for the software that's already been deployed. We have, even before this, we had over 300,000 students using this. So it's a great resource that we've already had in place. We also have tools like the online library, Utah's online library. We have through UEN web conferencing solutions through WebEx. And another resource that I'm not sure a lot of principals know about, especially for high school, is our BYU independent study. We went in partnership with them about 2 years ago to bring their courses available, and it's targeted grades 7 through 12, and those are Canvas courses that are ready and made to go. Teachers can just download them into their Canvas instance and it's ready. So that's the wonderful thing about Utah, is we have a lot of these resources already available. That's
fantastic.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with you, Justin. I think the very first thing I've been telling everybody is this is hard to take what teachers are used to doing in a brick and mortar format and convert online. It's not just click the button and turn on the online school, right? Like this, we've been in charter for 12 years and we still don't have it all figured out. So to expect teachers to turn it out in a couple days, what they've done and what I've seen them do already is just phenomenal, the work that they've put in. So huge shout out to educators and administrators everywhere for the challenge that they took head on, because what they did was not easy, and I don't know that everybody realizes that unless you're in the midst of doing it. And so on that note, patience with yourselves, patience as parents, as students. I think if everybody just takes a deep breath, takes it in stride, because one of the things that we've learned is that when we're using new tools, we begin the new school year, we usually use at least that first week as orientation, where we're not really diving really deep into the curriculum, and it's just building routine, just the same as you would in a brick and mortar, right? Where you spend that first week establishing routines, establishing structure. Same thing in an online school. So would take some time to have a little bit of patience and develop that structure. Everybody thrives off structure. Us as adults, and especially our students, thrive off of structure. So I think that's the very first thing that everybody needs to put into place. Not so much the content, that'll come, but structure. Everybody's going to thrive with structure.
Could you speak a little bit more to what leaders can do to help develop that structure for parents at home? And Justin, obviously feel free to jump in on that question as well. And what moves that you would see them making as they make this transition?
Yeah, I think that's got to come from administration first, is some sort of structure and framework for teachers. So be very clear about what the objectives are of what a teacher needs to hit. And we're not starting over. This is all stuff that is probably very familiar already. But clarifying, maybe even saying that this is still the same, but we're converting this online. So what does that look like? And really opening up the creativeness and the innovation around that. What objectives are we hitting? How do we know if students had hit those objectives? What are the tools we are using? But to establish a framework, even a schedule, a suggested schedule for the day for a teacher. And then that can go all the way down to the parent level and the student level, because now we are really, really relying on parents at home. They become our learning partners. So building that relationship with our parents at home is just going to be crucial. What does the communication look like? And once again, that goes back to structure. And that will come from any administrators on clear expectations for communication. But really working with our parents, and then structure once again for our students. So getting a suggested structure or a schedule to parents for students to say, hey, here's what the online work looks like. Here's what offline work looks like. And these are all suggested schedules. I have parents at our school that move things around. Hey, my kid likes to do math in the morning because it's harder, so I want to get out of the way. Or some people like to do PE in the morning because that's their favorite, right? Whatever. So that's the cool part, is you can work with it. But this idea of structure and consistency and routine, I think now more than ever, is so important that we spend a few weeks getting that in place. I think I'm with you, Bryan. I think we're in this for a little while. And I think taking the time to get these routine and structures in place is going to be crucial for this to be successful in the long run.
Yeah, I jump in there from the design standpoint. If you're using a Canvas LMS, so first of all, I'd suggest using something like a Canvas LMS. Maybe for the younger kids, a Google Classroom, but some sort of structured way to get that information to your students and parents, because they're going to be overwhelmed at first.
Yes.
If we just send them a huge 10-page document with things that are going to get done, that's not very structured. It's going to overwhelm them in the beginning. I think these learning management systems offer a better way to structure information to give to them. Try to just make sure you get the communication out as clear and concise as possible without 10,000 emails in the morning and 10-page documents. This is definitely brand new for the parents. I think they're getting a whole new appreciation for teachers and what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna hit on what you just said about the emails. Is I recently heard from one of our staff members that is now like in the same boat of all of us, right, with their kids at home, working with them, has a high school student, and said that she's got 8 classes and got 8 emails like every hour from those teachers. It's all with good intent, but it's just so much that she's like, I don't even know where to start, so I'm not going to start. It is kind of what the battle that they were fighting right there. So yeah, just the streamlined communication in a structured platform delivery that is consistent, yeah, absolutely is vital.
Yeah, I'll add a few things. So if you are using something like Canvas LMS, your instructions to the student should be go to your class on Canvas and we'll have instructions for the day there. Maybe the teacher can pre-record a video, welcome to the day, this is what we're going to be doing. Keep it simple like that, so that students and parents are just going to one place to get that information. I also think it's better for teachers to pre-record video rather than to try to get all their students, all day, conferencing in on a web conference with 30 students all together. That can get a little messy and technical at times. So try to keep it simple, pre-record videos and messages to students. And every once in a while, it would probably be a good idea to get together and communicate live face-to-face with those students. But that's not necessarily the primary delivery for online learning.
So when they, to build on that, Justin, so when you say a pre-recorded lesson, what exactly does that look like for the teachers who are oftentimes working from home now? Is it, what type of tools would they use at their house, or what type of tools would you recommend principals or resources principals give their teachers to have at their home?
Yeah, so technology is just a tool. So I always say, and I want to remind everyone that, well, first of all, we don't want to throw pedagogy out the window when we're starting to teach online. So first of all, don't send a big stack of worksheets for students to do at home. Technology is really about using the right tool for the right need. So teachers to think of what they want to do and then find the technology tool that will help them accomplish that goal. So Canvas, for example, is just a place to centralize and put all the information for your students to have. So when I say like a pre-recorded lesson, what I'm talking about is if there's a lecture that the teacher needs to record, they can record that on Canvas and have it there in advance rather than having it live. That also offers the student the flexibility to watch it whenever they want or rewatch it. There's a lot of learning, theory behind that. That's important. They can pause it, rewatch it again. So that's an advantage of technology. Some, I've seen students in language classes, for example, use software like Flipgrid, which is short recorded messages that are asynchronous that students can practice. It's kind of like a short video recording where students can practice their language, send it into the teacher, and the teacher can look at it and grade it back. So these are all more like asynchronous type learning environments that I think will add flexibility for students at home to complete their assignments.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, word of caution is that I see so many awesome platforms out there. In fact, I saw somewhere that somebody's keeping a list of all these free trials that are out there, that they've opened up all these resources to educators, which is fabulous and also overwhelming at the same time. So like Justin said, I think being very clear about what you're trying to accomplish first and then seeking out the tool is going to be a better approach than looking at this massive thousands of program lists and going, where do I even start? Because sometimes we see, the new fancy shiny object and go, oh, I'm going to try that. And what am I doing here? I don't really know. So being centered with your approach, once again, is still the same thing as brick and mortar. You're just using a different modality in whatever strategy you're using. And that needs to drive the tool choice and not the other way around.
So it'd almost be good if principals and district leaders are filtering what LMS schools are going to be using, so it's almost cohesive across at least the school, but even the district, for parents who've got multiple kids who might be at 3 different schools within the same school district. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, absolutely. Consistency is key, I think.
Yeah, it's better to have it all in one place. And this has been something that districts have been doing actually for a while. So I think that part, the districts and schools have figured out as far as what LMS to use. But I would definitely recommend doing something like that since it is available to us rather than even making a web page. That's kind of an old technology for getting information out to students. So I definitely recommend either Google Classroom for maybe the younger kids or Canvas LMS. A lot of them are already familiar with that.
Perfect. So as we move into wrapping this this short conversation up, what's one more just golden nugget that you guys can think of that we haven't discussed for building and district leadership?
So I think we kind of mentioned this when we started this conversation, but we have to keep, and at forefront is the social and emotional well-being of our students. And I think if we keep that at top of mind, then we'll be all right. And keep, teachers and principals should kind of listen for feedback from their students and what's working and what's not working. Have conversations with them about how things are going, how they're adjusting to life, and what's going well with the online instruction and what they think can be improved. So I would say that social emotional well-being is probably the most important of this time.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly. And to add to that, I think we are at an opportunity here in difficult times to use this as a way to build a community in a different way. It can be, I mean, look at us sitting here, right? We're bringing our worlds together. We can build our own community. Whatever community you live in, whatever district, whatever charter school, or wherever you're at, we can use this to make our community stronger and tighter knit when we come through this. A lot of the staff that work at my school will tell me that they build relationships so much deeper and personal with parents and students in this environment, which was contrary to their beliefs before walking into it, because there's a lot more one-on-one. Like I said earlier, the relationship now with the parents at home as a learning partner becomes so important and crucial to the success and engagement of the students in the online work. There is a great opportunity to build a community within your existing community and making it stronger right now.
I love that. I love all of it. Okay, well, I really appreciate taking the time. Would you guys mind, you guys mentioned some like resources. Would you guys mind just sending me any links that you think would be relevant that we can tag to this video for resources that principals and district leadership could benefit from? And if you want to, no requirement, if you want to include your contact information as a link so that they can reach out directly to you, because you guys are the experts on this, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, happy to do that. One of the resources, I'll just say right off, and I'll also send this over to you, is UEN's put together a website specifically for this. It's uen.org/learn-at-home.
Oh, perfect.
And that's a great collection of resources for students, teachers, and parents.
Excellent. Most excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys' time, and look forward to seeing you guys again. Justin, we work right next door to each other, and Megan, we work together often, so I'm sure we'll see each other very shortly.
Okay,
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's